drove off with me, and the next thing was a punch directly on my collarbone. I went out.
A punch.
On my collarbone, I went out, and they called him that I fainted, and he said his other wife was between life and death. So he chose her over my life. My clavicle was broken into two, split into two. One of them was actually piercing my neck artery. I'd almost died. I had to have surgery. Oh, yes, and he keeps repeating. He sold his car for my surgery, and I'm like, oh, was my family supposed to foot the bill? I coped with the STIs, I coped with the cheating. But it was at that point when he attacked me in a rush to go and be with the other woman over what was not his. I couldn't deal with, because one, it means they could maneuver him to kill me, and he would kill me.
You're done, but you were still there. And you're denying him.
Because I'd rather be safe, I'd rather progress than sink.
But the need has to be met.
He was getting it met outside though. Me, I was getting my met with toys. Yes. I cannot sleep with somebody I contacted STI from 3 occasions. Who slept with a 14-year-old and had multiple sex partners. It wasn't working for me. Sex for me is a spiritual thing. I'm very big on it. I had a stillbirth as a result of an STI.
Wow.
I remember having one again after my last one that I had to. It took me 6 months to treat. And I kept staying. And he would tell me, you have nowhere to go. I shrunk. The only time I blossomed was when I was outside the house. I was me outside the house and where with my friends and where the children I worked with. I shrunk so bad, and I kept realizing, Ijeoma, choose you. You can't continue to live like this.
Choose you.
I chose me. And one of the places where he almost made me suicidal was taking my children for the naming ceremony.
Whose naming ceremony?
This child's naming ceremony. And I remember I called my therapist that I feel like killing myself.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Val Podcast by The Upward Ideas. Hope you had a great week, and today we are delving into a topic that is very, very serious. It's a topic that affects, I can tell you confidently, 2 out of every 4 women here in Nigeria. It's affecting them, and it's also affecting some guys too, though the percentage is very low. And today we're going to be looking at the topic of domestic violence. Domestic violence. My guest today is someone who has a first-hand experience in this. She's an educator. She is a therapist? Yeah. Special needs children therapist. She's vibrant, she's outspoken, she's interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the podcast today, Ijeoma. Ijeoma, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, sir.
It's good to see you here.
Yes, sir.
Even though the conditions are somehow, but we thank God that you're alive.
That's one of my biggest gratitude today.
Wow. And I'd like to thank you for doing this and for not taking you very serious initially. I also apologize officially in front of the whole world.
It's okay.
It's all right. So, to begin with, when you first met your spouse, what was it about him that made you believe he was the man you wanted to spend your life with?
Okay, let me briefly delve. But let me say thank you once again. Let me briefly delve. I come from a polygamous home. And I felt it was a safe haven.
Okay.
Because also knowing he came from a polygamous home too. So I totally believe we wouldn't want such
to repeat that
to happen. We don't want that pattern to happen. So, and he even gave me his word then that nothing of such was going to happen. And it was also like a safe place. So I thought then, until I started seeing different patterns unfolding, and it wasn't pleasant.
How would you define domestic violence? what it is, what does it mean for someone who is out there who doesn't know what um, domestic violence means?
Funny enough, I don't have a good definition for it. I just feel it's physical assault on
Hmm.
your partner.
Physical assault,
Assault, not just physical, emotional
emotional,
assault, because it comes both
both
ways.
ways,
Most times it's either physical or emotional.
emotional.
Sometimes it's both of them together, but it's traumatizing.
It's
It's
traumatizing.
not pleasant.
It's with never nothing violent is ever pleasant.
No, it's
All
not.
right.
I thought he was a safe place. I come from a polygamous home,
Okay.
and he also came from a
You got my
polygamous
song.
home.
All right.
And I wanted to so escape that reality
Okay.
because there were so many things I experienced growing up as a child
China.
that I didn't want it. So I wanted somebody who was going to be mine. But over time, I
Someone
realized
who understood coming what it was like coming from that kind of background. Definitely.
that was what I was
What's
expecting.
expecting.
But I wasn't getting it,
Okay.
all that, because there was always signs that there was a tendency. So I felt over time he would outgrow it, it would change. I even remember going praying and fasting about it, and
Hmm.
nothing of that happened.
So,
It still continued.
but I mean, you guys had. I mean, you've had like, yeah. How many kids do you guys have
3.
together? 3. I mean, you've had some very rosy moments, some very beautiful moments, and I are you going to say all through your first child, second child, the third child, he's always been that way,
All true.
or it's just that I got some points, things life happens and maybe
Okay, it started with cheating, and that's never ever stopped. And that sort of dropped the emotional part of me
okay,
where there were supposed to be feelings for him. And gradually, there was always that breach.
hmm,
That barrier was always there.
fair,
And all of a sudden, let me just one slap, oh, I'm sorry.
hmm,
2 slaps, I'm
hmm,
sorry.
hmm,
At a point, it stopped. Then sometimes loud shouts and everything. At a point, I became the type that shouts back to, and I just decided to, okay, fine, ignore and move on. Already, there was already a big breach. There was a big gap. There was a divide already. I couldn't deal anymore. Infidelity played a big
roll.
role.
All right, so we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Let me just follow through sequentially. Okay, if I'd met with both of you, when you guys were courting, what kind of relationship would I have seen? What was the experience like when you guys were courting, dating? The
You would have
beautiful
seen
moment.
a little bit of, some beautiful parts and a little bit of authoritative on his part. The African man always wanting to be,
I usually would think most ladies would like men that are assertive enough, who can take charge.
in
Was it
as
that?
much as I liked him taking charge.
Yeah.
Most of the time, he was not always around. He traveled a lot then.
Okay.
And so I learned to take charge of things. So I was always in charge of the kids. So I was left to become both the father and the mother at that point in time. Though he was always providing, there's one thing I will not take away from him. He's always been a provider.
Good.
But that's part of making me become totally in charge
Yeah.
was always there. So I became in charge and I became independent of him. So sometimes I had to fight being under because I was independent of him, not going out and everything, but it wasn't always easy. All of a sudden, you're used to certain ways when he's not around and you're conforming to certain ways when he's around. Sometimes I'll do it and get tired actually, eventually.
So Laura Konsha, like one of our guests said, you became mad, mommy and daddy together.
Now I became mad, mommy and daddy. I like that word,
That's
mad.
what one of my guys said. Yeah, that they are meant to become mad. Oh. I was like, you think you're mad? Say, mommy and daddy. I said, oh, seriously, as well. Were there moments during your dating when you felt uneasy about certain behaviors but dismissed those behaviors? Like,
Yes, there were, and like I said, I felt he would change over time.
it's usually the same story
I
that
felt
he will
I could
change.
manage it,
Hmm.
and I did try for 21 years. I tried.
Wow, that's a long time.
I did.
Hmm.
I felt I could manage it, but nah.
But was it that? I mean, 21 years dating, and I mean, you guys must have had some very sweet. I mean, I wouldn't agree. I mean, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't really agree that maybe it was all horror from beginning. I believe maybe those dating periods, you guys were having fun. It was all rosy. I don't know.
No, he wasn't all that bad. I'll say he changed a lot. The point when I knew when I think I can pinpoint when he changed, and when he did change, it got to me. But at that point in time, it's like we're not growing together again.
Okay.
So when he was changing, he was going east, I was going west. So
Hmm.
we couldn't come to par, and we were just staying because of the kids.
Kids. Okay, I get it. So the kids were basically your reason for the concession, basically to just say, okay, let's just.
Yes, because I remember then he would always tell me, hey, if I can't deal with, I should go. I should not think I have, and I'll just laugh
And
then.
but there probably were triggers. I mean, a man will not just start saying, "Oh, if you want to go," what were those? Were there
Okay,
underlying
I
issues?
can't absolve myself that I was totally holy. Yes, I had infidelity played a major role
The issues you guys
in
had.
issues, and
Yeah.
you can't keep catching this over and over again and not lose your cool.
Hmm.
There came in lack of trust
Hmm.
to the point that he would tell me it was not circumcised for me alone. If I cannot deal with it, I should take a walk.
No, 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 no. I mean, like
Oh
he
yes,
was not circumcised for
and
you
I'll
alone.
hear statements like, "I'm the one that went searching, so whatever I say, I should deal with it."
Ah, it is well.
And
Uh,
at that point in time, it was really annoying because it affected my self-esteem.
hmm.
Then they had not started doing BBL. I was already thinking of BBL then, and I was like, were they means to do BBL so? And
All to
I
please him.
all to alter, because when I see the babes he was going after, and I'm like, intellectually they don't even match me. It's not bragging. I know the weight I pull intellectually,
Hmm.
but I realized that it was just him. And when he continued,
Just got that.
I got tired and I zoned off. There was no point.
Were family members or friends ever concerned? Did they ever express any concern about your relationship with your spouse? That, but boy, oh, shock, boko, eh? Are you sure? Were there any concerns from family members, siblings, or friends?
Yes, from my mom and my younger brother who is in the United States. And I remember him telling me, babe, walk out of that marriage. It's not healthy for you.
What were the things he saw that made him just, or is it he or she
No, my
that
younger
your
brother.
brother? Okay, what did he see that made him say, "Babe, walk out of that marriage"? What were the things?
My brother kept saying he saw somebody who would try to, let me use the word, um, stifle me
Okay,
and not allow me grow.
flourish.
And I kept arguing with him then. My mom saw the same repeated pattern. I
Hmm.
heard what my father did to her.
Hmm.
And I just, typical young lady who is trying to make a marriage work. God forbid, it's not my portion. It won't happen. Then some of his friends, yes.
His own friends.
Yes, his own friends. One actually told me it's something I'm going to have to really, really pray
About.
and deal with.
Hmm.
So for every single time I reported them, because I was the one who always spoke out,
Okay.
I was expected to endure. He said never liked third party, but whenever I saw things, I will report, I will complain. He called it nagging.
Okay, you complaining about the cheating was
Yes,
them nagging.
Yes, he called it nagging. And when I report, they'll tell me where I went wrong, but they'll tell him this was not wrong, was where he went wrong, and he never liked accepting it. He never, and he's easily influenced.
Okay, by friends.
Oh, by people. He's easily influenced by friends. Yes. He's following somebody today. He's following that person's trend. This is something that I noticed.
Okay. I mean, he's not a man who who has he doesn't have a mind of his own or
No,
such.
he doesn't.
Mm,
He doesn't.
mm.
He didn't have a mind of his own. Where he only has a mind of his own is when he wants to be authoritative. That's when he feels he has a mind of his own. I'm not shading him, but I'm being very factual.
Were there any spiritual? Sometimes they say, morning or someone, so for those who are not Yoruba, like,
Amazingly, there was a spiritual connection to it. His elder sister said that he had already been seen that he wasn't going to marry one wife. He
wow.
was not destined. And I looked at them as
The other-
like, his elder sister, and I was like, for somebody who is not wealthy, because only odogus do this. You're not wealthy. You're not. You don't have multiple streams of income. You're struggling, and I'm like seriously.
polygamy in today's day is very expensive. I mean, I don't think polygamy in 2026 is for poor people. If you want to be polygamous, you need to be wealthy.
And in their, let me not use the word. There's this slogan that goes out. I've been seeing on Facebook and the social media. They said, if you get into problem, make sure you have a family member that can cover 1.5. None of his family members can do that. So sorry to say, because we had a nasty case scenario where, in his philandering, he landed in the hospital, Reddington Hospital, to be precise. And this man, none of his family could drop a dime. And in the end, I wonder how come he was not destined to have one wife. And then he would tell me all his helpers are women. And I'm like, okay.
I'm sorry for laughing, but it's just funny.
No,
All the helpers are women. I've never had that before. I probably need female helpers as well.
now I heard that a lot, and I don't think I want my male child to go through this.
Do that.
He won't imbibe that culture.
If you could travel back in time to your younger self, before the marriage, what warning signs would you have told yourself not to ignore? If you could go back in time and say, maybe it's 15 years or 2 years into the marriage, 3 years into the marriage, if you could go back in time now to your younger self, what are those signs you would have told yourself not to ignore?
Unhealthy conversations with female friends.
Okay. What, like, unhealthy as how? Like,
Oh,
is it an offense to have female friends to talk to?
Unhealthy conversations with female friends.
Okay, for example, you need to have examples.
Okay, let me use this. You've left somebody and you're now coming back to her, and you're all of a sudden somebody who you dated, you're her mentor.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now I see.
I've seen the nude of the person on his phone, and you're mentoring the person.
An ex.
What's
the ex nude doing on his phone?
No, then he was dating the person, and I saw the news, and all of a sudden, 2 years or 3 years later, he's mentoring the person, even giving the person marriage advice.
Okay, so there are some red flags you didn't take serious.
I didn't take them serious because if I had, I just knew I was not friendly with the person.
Is it safe to say you were very confident in yourself that you were not bothered about those things?
I was actually. In all honesty, there were always issues. He felt I was too jealous.
Were you jealous?
Yes, I was jealous. Who would want to share her man? I was jealous. I was angry. For every time he traveled, there was always a girl in the picture. And he comes back, and I'm the one dealing with an STD.
Wow, wow. I'm sorry. I was going to ask, before the marriage proper, while you were both dating, you probably had seen some of these signs. Was it that you didn't see any of these signs, or you were just swept off
I
your feet?
ignored. And
Okay,
I
you
was
ignored.
too in love. I was disillusioned. I just wanted a safe place.
What were those things he was doing that swept you off your feet
I
that
know he
were
was
looking
caring. He
scary?
was caring.
Like bed and breakfast on the bed or something, like a bed or
And he knew
breakfast
how
on the
to
bed.
cook.
Okay, he could cook.
I also know how to cook, but he knew how to cook. And my dad knows how to cook. So that was another thing I always wanted. And he was very caring.
He was a good storyteller, right? I guess.
Oh my God.
Gist.
Yes, he was.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
And he knew how to take me out then. Then, no. But until I outgrew him, it stopped.
Okay, so you outgrew him.
No, I outgrew it. I did.
Why do you think you outgrew him? Like, what would make you say, I outgrew him? Is
Okay.
it that you started earning more, you were making more
No,
money
there was
than
actually
him?
a particular turning point that broke my heart, and there.
Is it the STI stuff you're talking about?
No, not even the STI. There was a case of infidelity, as in sleeping with a minor I adopted.
I mean, like sleeping with what?
A minor I adopted. The girl had lost her mom. And
You mean under 18 girl?
Yes, she was 14 then.
Wow.
And I will never forget the day, as in I lost my cool, and I asked him why, and he said he thought it was me. I'm like, are you that daft?
In your marital house?
On my matrimonial bed.
It's all
That
right.
broke me totally, and I lost all respect.
You adopted a minor. You
I was
brought a
sending her
minor
to
into your
school,
house,
yes.
sending her to school, and you came and you found that your estranged husband was making out with.
He made out with her, got her pregnant.
Was there no like a senior or spiritual authority, someone he respects, that you could have said, okay, maybe a pastor or a teacher or uncle
There
or
was
someone you
none.
could
There
go
was
have.
none then.
But how were you able to cope with all of that and still carried on?
Like I said, my children were the reasons why I stayed back. And honestly, I still don't know why I did, because if I had moved on, they would still be fine.
Maybe you truly genuinely were in love with him, and
No, I was actually then. I loved him then. Let me use the word loved. And I was always hoping that he would change one day. He would change. Oh God, I remember going praying and fasting. I became Ialadura at a point.
So have you lost hope and faith that he can change?
I'm done. He should find his change with his new wife. I'm not interested.
Okay, he has a new wife.
Oh yes, and that one has a child for him.
In those years, what was control like in a relationship before it became obvious? Because before it gets to abuse, there's usually the subtle micro control, narcissistic. I mean, everybody has that narcissistic tendency, but
No, everybody
it
does.
gets to a level where it becomes very, very projected. Like,
Okay. One of them was with his family.
okay.
Now, he would tell me he's a family person, but I am the type that likes privacy.
Okay.
I'm not against your family coming,
Okay.
but everything has to have moderation.
Yeah.
I grew up watching my mother work. So why would your family come? Your elder sister, to be precise. She has a husband. She has children. She's not working. You want to sit down in the house doing nothing. I go to work and you want to be living off people. It didn't work for me. And when I object, you feel like was doing too much. His family was always trying to project their own rules on me. Initially, I was doing the good wife, but I realized the girl is good. Let me say it in Yoruba, Akpani. I stopped doing that.
Yeah, it's good, Akpani.
I stopped, I switched, and I became me. They felt I was too rigid, and I just didn't like things. And I like boundaries. Everybody has boundaries. They didn't respect boundaries.
Are there instances of you seeing them not respecting
Oh
boundaries?
yes, there were so many. There were so many. You come in, use my stuff. I didn't have anything against that initially, but when it became it's your brother's stuff, and when it became you rubbing into my face, we married you, and I'm like, really? And I don't like them. They don't like coming. They're not free. You come in unannounced. You just want to come and lord over the place,
Mm-mm.
and you play preferential treatment between wives. The only ally I had is late, his elder brother's wife. And that's who I could always talk to. And we'll both sit down and we'll both analyze things. And she's like, they don't they don't like us. Let's just move on with our lives. I will not God rest her soul. Idowu will tell me this. She'll say, channel your energy into what you're doing and be better at it.
Mm.
And I realized that they weren't just caught out. Sometimes they had their good parts, I won't lie. But they were a little bit selfish.
Mm.
Because let me in reality, when I look at all of them today, his sister is still not staying with the husband. She's staying with a friend.
Mm.
His nieces are not they are not married. And they have 2 kids.
Mm.
2 each. And I'm wondering, what was I doing? Why didn't I just walk away? The only person who had a good sense on his head was his father and his younger brother. Those two. His younger brother is still a very good ally too, yes. His father, God rest his soul. But it wasn't it. It wasn't it for me. And if I had seen the way they even treated their stepsister, I should have just walked away. Because she was from another father. No.
Okay, since you said you were both from polygamous, you had both had polygamy or polygamous background. There's a there's a recurring thing I see in most. I'm not saying it's absolutely in every polygamous family, but most of the people that are from polygamous background, particularly from the southwest, I discover what happens is that their mothers usually tend to kind of like coach the children to look out for themselves. There's nothing wrong with kids looking out for themselves, actually. But
Yeah.
like, even when you get married, instead of releasing you, knowing that okay, look, oh, you are starting a new family. This family is expanding to accommodate other people as members of this family. They still prompt those kids to like, look at Omo, yeah, oh, Abro, oh," and this and that. Like they make that circle, that their polygamy, that Omo yeah circle, they make it more important than even the any new family or nuclear family you start. I've seen it happen. I have like 2 instances in my head right now that I can talk about. They'll no matter what. So it becomes very. I didn't observe this until a very long time that I started saying because I knew some people relatives who were married to people from polygamous. So I started observing that trend, that especially when I think the women feel hot that okay, hey, the father married someone else, so all they had were their kids. So they gather those kids and train those kids to look, yeah, kiji, yeah, this and that. So, and even when the kids are all grown and they have their family, they find it difficult to see separate from mother's um, mother's orientation and what they want is, even when they are married to someone else, they don't see that, no, this is my own family, this is my own home, my own nuclear family. They still get attached to. So what I'm trying to say is, the question I want to ask is it that is a social cultural issue? Is it a southwestern thing, or I don't know why is it like that? I don't know
I
if
think it's a sociocultural issue because I experienced it with them firsthand. But funny enough, his younger brother didn't go with that
align with
trend.
that. Yeah.
He didn't align with it. And when they do it, I'll just choose to ignore. For those of them that went to swing that way, they swung that way.
Hmm.
I just chose to ignore. We in the southeast, we're allowed to fight our own independency. fight your own battle, cave your own, which is different. But oh, it's my family, it's my family. I am a family person. The sister then will say, me, I like doing me and my husband. And I'll be like, what am I supposed to
To
do in
do
the first
no, it's
place?
supposed to be me and my husband and
They
my
will say,
husband's
when
brother.
you're married to a man, you're married to his family. Yes, true. But at the same time, boundaries. I respect boundaries, which they didn't. And you cannot, there are certain people you cannot subdue. I believe so much in this too, also. Your personality and your aura.
Yeah.
You can't subdue certain people. I'm an Aquarius. Just leave me the way I am. Respect boundaries, respect certain things about me.
And moreover, the husband is supposed to actually draw those lines. I think it's usually on. It's even in the case in the reverse. If it's a female as well, that maybe the siblings are trying to mess up, she's the one that will draw the line and say, "Wow, wow, this is my husband's house. People don't come and messing up here." You understand?
Where the lines drawn, when the lines are drawn with pencils, you erase it and draw it with biro. They were not well spelt out.
And
Because
did you draw his attention to that?
I
This
did.
point you are trying to make, and people will get
I
there.
did. So many times he has told me if the youngest members of his family should call him to report me, this, and I'm like, okay.
I don't understand. Threatening your worth.
Oh yes, I had that threat, and I kept quiet because I just wanted to make my marriage work.
But those were little red flags you'd have
That I did not.
pay
I just
attention
chose to ignore. But it's a social cultural thing. I strongly believe that.
At any point, if you can remember, was there any point where he tried to isolate you from friends,
No,
family, career opportunities? Maybe there was one door in America or somewhere that you would have
No, he
taken
didn't.
advantage of.
No, he didn't. The only time he tried once was when he asked me to stop working, and he was making enough money. Me that like his money is our money, my own money is my money.
But now, why will his
I
money be our
know.
money? His
You-
money is our money. My money, your money is also our
No.
money.
It was not enough. I've always loved being in education. It's always been something for me, it's a passion. I would sneak out and go and do my lessons and come back to the house. So he has always, so when he now knew he could not meet up with the finances again, he now changed to, you need to start working. Oh, one day I'll open a school for you.
Promises. Beautiful.
Well,
It must be a sweet talker,
oh, he actually is.
a smooth operator.
A very good one. I call him motivational speaker here, right?
Motivational speaker here.
Yeah.
It is well. Were there moments when he made you doubt your memory, your self-worth in all of this? Of course,
So many
definitely.
times. So many times.
Like
When he
and
kept
this-
going after other women, and I was like, okay, I think I wasn't enough.
Okay, you decided you were, should I go and do BBL or something?
Yes. So many times. So many times he almost decided to make me even go down the same road he went to with Infidelity.
Was it that bad?
It was that bad.
That you were
Because I was
thinking
looking
of-
for an escape route, something to make me happy. Because he was always catching happiness.
But sincerely speaking, you didn't at any point in time consider to that? Like, did you ever, you caught some, you also took revenge?
Let me be very honest too. As in, I'm one person that my mom would say she's annoyingly blunt. He only saw a chat with an ex who was even ready to marry me back. And he said, I drove down to Ibadan and back to get over it. And I'm like, Christ. For years, I dealt with infidelity. This was 14 years ago, to be precise. And I'm like, really? You only saw a chat
With your ex?
with an ex? And I wish I had gone with that ex. Seriously.
How can you wish you had gone with your
No,
ex?
I wish I had.
Why? You would have left your kids and followed an ex that you don't know what would have happened.
I know I'd have had a better life. That's the truth.
You can't be sure. You can't be sure of that now.
I'm regretting the risks and chances I didn't take, and I should have just walked away. Since.
But you had kids now. Would you have left your kids to go after your ex?
Even if I had left my kids, I'll still come back for them.
And that would have been very responsible. And you wouldn't have done that.
I know. The girl is good. Where did it land me? A broken collarbone.
And but the girl should still be good now, irrespective of now.
Where the girl is good, I have nightmares almost every night when I remember the trauma of what I went through.
Mm.
It has made me doubt my
Sanity,
sanity,
your self-worth.
my self-worth, to the extent where, to the present day where this happened, and I asked myself, was I dreaming or imagining things?
Mm.
This is somebody who, when he's preaching, oh God, today I started calling him Pastor Kel Kel. I don't even join the morning devotion when he's preaching because I said, look, I'm a sinner, just leave me the way I am.
Such
But
a
I do
firebrand.
not, today I said, devil no Bible. I'm not a religious bigot. I don't do that. I don't lead people on. It's either you forgot or you're not. Don't fake it. If he's praying here, you think heaven wants to come down. No.
Did the abuse, both the emotional abuse and physical abuse, did it just start suddenly? Or was it a gradual thing?
How do you invite a woman over to your house and you tell me she's your family and I'm like, no way. It's not your family. We argue. This was what led to this series of drama. And all of a sudden, you wanted to invite her to church. And I said, no, she wasn't going to go with us in the car to church. And you went ballistic on me that I was stopping you, blah, blah. And I just ignored him.
I don't understand.
He invited the lady to the
house. In guise that she's a family member.
Meanwhile, she's not. She's actually his brother's ex-girlfriend.
Okay. His relative's ex-girlfriend.
His younger brother's ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
And I stood my ground and I said no. And the next thing, you went full-blown war on me. This, you shouted, blah, blah, blah. And I ignored. And I started seeing traits. The girl he was dating is close to his niece. At first, she was staying in the same hostel with my daughter. I was seeing strange calls. And I decided to snoop that day. And I saw messages. And I laughed. I saw the messages. They said, where she was saying, sending scripture message. I like, this one don't enter one chance. I said it to myself. And I remember, I didn't even confront him. I just reported to Church Street and I told them to tell him to take the girl out of the same hostel he placed with my daughter. Then on his niece's daughter's birthday, the girl came with a full-blown pregnancy.
Oh.
This was 2024. November 24 to be precise.
The same niece.
His niece. And when the girl showed, she wanted me to know she was. And I said, I said, why didn't you just tell me and not be a coward? I got so angry. I uttered some angry words. And in front of his family, said he wasn't going to pay because I said I was going to kill him. I went on my knees begging. You made me doubt myself after knowing you got somebody else pregnant. And then I made up my mind I was going to go all out for myself. That day, I chose me. I went in and I pursued all my professional courses and academic career, and I went full-blown into it. And I told him, your reality is not my reality. You decide to become an odogu. I hands off, taking care of the house.
Hmm.
Down to the last matchstick, you're going to do it.
Was it like were you the one?
I was always
This,
supporting then. We could come together to pay school fees then. He'll tell me, okay, fine, he'll pay school fees, I'll do textbooks. But I now hands off. I said, do everything. Yeah, no, Odogus handle everything. Instead, I chose me. I became selfish. I'm not apologetic about it. I refuse to apologize about that.
for someone out watching out there, what are some form of emotional emotional violence that someone watching them might not be aware that this thing, the emotional violence that they go through? What are those some of those things people are going through?
Sometimes you might be told you're the cause. And when you check and you realize that you're not always the problem,
Hmm.
they're not dealing with themselves.
Hmm.
They are refusing to acknowledge this is where they are wrong and they are pointing it on you.
Hmm.
They're not seeing their own side of the problem. They keep making themselves look like, oh, I'm the hero, I'm the hero.
That's a narcissist.
And that
Yeah.
I kept
Self-centered.
coming in.
Yeah.
It was always, and I shrunk.
Hmm.
I shrunk. The only time I blossomed was when I was outside the house.
Hmm.
I was me outside the house and where with my friends and where the children I worked with was. I shrunk so bad, and I kept realizing, Ijeoma, choose you. You can't continue to live like this.
Choose you.
I chose me.
Choose you.
I have an amazing therapist, and where at the point in time, one of the places where he almost made me suicidal was taking my children for the naming ceremony. I couldn't fight for the baby's naming ceremony.
Who's naming ceremony?
This child's naming ceremony.
Okay, the
child they
to
had with the
another
lady.
person.
And I remember I called my therapist that I feel like killing myself. I felt like a useless mother. And she told me, calm down. She had to call someone to take me out of the house. I had to stay 2 days in that person's place till I got myself. I made up my mind. I chose me. I got tired. His family was aware. Do you know what it means to see videos where there was a vlog created, a photo shoot, a pregnancy photo shoot? And I'm like, really? And all of a sudden, when you're broke, you're expecting me to support? Hell no. I will not. Build your dog and be it to the fullest.
But it beats my mind, my imagination that, I mean, you are not capable financially enough. You're partly dependent on each other with your wife, and you still have the effrontery to
Okay,
go outside and
what led to my sorry, I had to get
it's
to
all right.
this.
It's all right. Take your
This
time.
clavicle bone issue. You asked the question, where did it make me feel I was the same? On my birthday, he gave me a birthday gift. I said, I was like, oh, in January. I said, thank you. So I returned the favor by giving him something. I gave him a smartwatch, earpods, and a perfume. Now, my boss gave me particular earbuds to be precise. He took them and said it was his. It's not possible for you to have an earbud that's on your app, that your app recognizes my name. My brand name is Audacious. And every single time I log it in, it brings it out. I now said these earbuds are not yours. And he kept claiming it was his. I was built to travel on the 15th of April. So this incident happened on 12th. He first of all flung me, twisted me on the settee in the sitting room, took my phones, went to drive off with my phone. I got up, went after him, give me my phone. He flung me to this wall in the sitting room. I had bruises all over. I still got up. He had gotten into
So
the
sorry.
car.
What led to this?
The
confrontation?
the earbuds. He said it was his. He was about driving off with it. He said I changed the name. It's not possible for my earbuds to automatically pick my name. That's yours.
Sorry, is that enough reason? Is earbuds? I can't just imagine it. Is earbuds, not just basic earbuds? Is it enough reason to be violent with your spouse? I don't understand.
I'm not done now. The next thing, I held onto the steering. Please give me my earbuds. He reversed, drove off with me, and the next thing was a punch directly on my collarbone. I went out.
A punch
On my collarbone, I went out. The
on
few
your
minutes
wife? I don't understand.
it landed here, and they called him that I fainted, and he said his other wife was between life and death, so he chose her over my life.
Oh.
I kept quiet. When I went to the hospital for first aid, he said, "Shiba, I have money, I should treat myself."
Wow.
At first, we thought it was a dislocation. When I came back from my trip, I found out I had a fracture. And then I chose
What type of
myself.
fracture exactly?
My clavicle was broken into two, split into two. One of them was actually piercing my neck artery. I'd almost died.
Hmm.
I had to have surgery. Oh, yes, and he keeps repeating. He sold his car for my surgery, and I'm like, oh, was my family supposed to foot the bill? And he keeps telling people it was an accident. How was it an accident? Why are
Because
you?
of earpod.
Why are you? Then when my family asked him who owned the earbuds, admitted it was mine. My uncle asked him, why did you hurt her to that extent? He admitted it was mine. My uncle said, when you knew it was yours, why did you go? Why didn't you leave it knowing fully well? Why were you vicious on her? None.
Oh, wow. Looking at it from a cultural lens now, do you think cultural expectations from either the both of you's family created the tensions or pressure you guys went through? Were there cultural dimensions to the pressure you guys were experiencing?
It's a yes and no. Not much from my own side because they literally.
Because you're Igbo, right?
Yes, I'm Igbo.
And he's Yoruba.
Not much from my own side. They literally respected it. Oh, my dad loved him.
Okay.
My dad loved him a lot.
Okay.
But on his own side, they were expecting a wife who would have been, let me use the word, a sandbag, who they can
A rock,
step on. I refuse to be a rug.
a rock.
No, I refuse to be a rug. Who they could easily.
Intimidate.
But I refuse to. No, it wasn't. I'm Delta. I wasn't cut off from that loin. And when I found out that it's easy for you to see through people's facades and change, and all of a sudden I realized they were not worth it. They were not going a mile for. It was. Because you can't expect me to accommodate. Not she had accommodation problems. She had children that were working.
Who had children that were working?
His elder sister. You can't expect me to sit down and be feeding a full-grown blonde woman. And all she will do is sit in front of my veranda and be opening Bible and reading. Excuse me, if I want to read the Bible, there's a Bible app on my phone. You don't bring religion into reality.
You don't bring religion into reality. But they say
the place of God is the supernatural controls the physical. But truth be told, heaven helps those who help themselves. You work first. You work. Till then, she's not working. I'm not shading about speaking the truth. Yes, I had times when I had to speak my mind, and she took it the other way, and I didn't really care. We don't have a good relationship. Well, please work. I can't be stressing myself, and you're expecting me to put food on the table for you.
But did you communicate some of these challenges to your husband?
He never tells me when she's coming. He will just tell me maybe like 30 minutes or in the morning. Oh, my sister is coming. You won't inform me ahead. I couldn't deal.
And you couldn't. Where did you at any point take it up? Like take the issues up with maybe a mentor, a family mentor, or therapist, or
no, I didn't.
spiritual
I decided to deal with it myself, which I handled certain issues wrongly. But still, I spoke out my mind. At the point in time, there was a time she played good cop, bad cop with my children. She was telling my children, who did they love between their father and their mother?
Ah, ah. What kind of question? Who do they love the most between the father and the mother?
She's a typical nosy Yoruba sister-in-law who want to be in your business. Tattletale what she sees and what she didn't see.
Hmm.
So it was best we respected each other from afar, not in close quarters.
Do you think some African women stay in such behaviors? Like,
A lot stay. A lot. And I think it's because being stigmatized, single mother, Dabi Moshe Da. Please live your life.
and
Choose
do you
you.
think there's, culturally, most of our parents will like, endurance, your money, how they say it again, like, you need to endure, marriage is full of a lot. Yeah, marriage is full of a lot of things, and indeed you have to endure. But at what point does endurance become, like, what's that threshold that that no more this thing, if I stay any further, it might lead to my demise, At what
Everybody
point?
has their breaking point. We're all different. This was mine.
So if your shoulder blade bone or
No, it was
what
when he attacked me that I realized I needed to
ja
leave. And the statement he made that the other woman was between life and death when he chose her over me. Your
what
wife
was
was
what
trying.
was the other man going through? Was she trying to give birth or what?
No, she was in the hospital. She was not feeling fine, malaria.
So you're the old wine that could be done with and to go and save the new one,
I
right?
was a rag. A lot of women stay because they want to maintain the status quo. Mrs. I did something silly in church or something, and I did it without. I'm not apologetic about it. I chose my name. My
Hmm.
name is Ijeoma. Ijeoma means Johnny Messers.
Hmm.
To hell with the Oguntade. I don't want it. My name, me. I chose me. And I introduced myself as me.
I choose me. Hmm.
A lot of women should learn to choose themselves. They come first. There was them before the marriage.
Hmm.
Sometimes they want to like, oh, my husband, my husband. Oh, really? Are you really happy? Since when I decided to focus on my career, I can beat my chest on so many fulfillments I have gotten.
And but if the cheating and the subtle emotional abuse and physical abuse were not there, you probably would not have taken like all these other opportunities now.
That's the truth. Funny enough, I already rented an apartment. I was already going to take a walk. I was already tired. I was already tired. There was already a big divide. There was no us again.
But what's that one thing that really for you was like, okay, was it okay? Was the beating and the breaking of your shoulder blade and that was the point where you decided no? Or was it you could live with you could cope with the cheating and the many STIs you came home with?
I coped with the STIs, I coped with the cheating. But it was at that point when he attacked me in a rush to go and be with the other woman over
Hmm.
what was not his. I couldn't deal with because one, it means they could maneuver him to kill me and he
Hmm.
will kill me.
What role did family's expectation play when things started going wrong? Like family, what role were you trying to maybe trying to please family so that or trying to cover up so that family don't get some kind of impression?
His family kept believing he was innocent, but I already knew where they had already knew themselves when they had lied that I changed the name and he later owned up. And so he has apologized to you. Not like really. But they didn't have the money to foot the bill, so there was nothing positive. I didn't expect anything from them. Let me not talk super. But my family stood by me.
Hmm.
My own family stood by me. Oh, and they gave him the pressure he needed. And they are still giving him.
at in those moments, while the whole chaos and the trouble, the cheating, multiple sex partners and whatever, were there people who were encouraging you to stay? Like maybe you had friends you were
Ah,
talking to, and they
eh,
were just telling you, "Stay, sister. You know, her sister Ijeoma, you know her."
yes, you said something. Yes, he was always telling me not to mingle with ladies my age, so I don't get um
Encourage or
encouraged to become, and I did not. So I now had elderly women like endure.
obìnrin máa ń ní ìfaradà.
Obìnrin máa ń nífẹ̀ẹ́ nítorí àwọn ọmọ kéèyàn lè jẹ oúnjẹ ọmọ pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́. But now, even his sister would tell me, òun dì ní òun faradà nílé ọkọ. And I'll be like, oh really? I said, that's not me. That's not my own person. We're different people. The new wife should enjoy.
When did you first realize infidelity was becoming a pattern rather than a mistake? What was that first infidelity move you made that you know that kini pattern kini kò ṣe mistake?
I think it was like the 5th year. I felt it was because he was always traveling. He was always like he can't stay alone. He's always on the road. He was traveling. And I now realized me that stays alone, I'm not stupid now. Me that stays alone, I'm not crazy.
Is it that he stays out or he goes out
No.
for the weekend and back?
No, when he travels for like 8 months. Then
Work 8 months.
yeah, he was working with a company. They do activation.
Okay.
So he goes for 8 months and
So you'll be alone by yourself with the kids.
So and I was like, okay, fine, no problem. And the 5th year, I just noticed this thing became. There was always a new girl every month, different messages. And there's one that even got me angry. Extremely angry was I taught that girl when she was in basic 5.
You taught the girl?
One of the girls, yes. I taught her when she was in basic 5, only for me to find out he was sleeping with the girl.
Ew.
This is a man who had a brain surgery 2018. He carried the girl to the club in GRE Kejo then. They smashed the shovel on his head, fractured the skull.
I mean, you mean he took a girl to the club
The
and
girl
there
went,
was
I don't know the fracas that happened. They fractured the skull. Fragment of the skull got into the brain. He had a brain surgery. The girl he was dating was a single mother too. And I remember when she came to the hospital, and I gave it to her, and he said, why was I fighting her? And I was not looking like I doubted myself then whether I was normal. Was I supposed to fight her? And I remember one of my friends, she's in Canada, and I said, what if he boy like Goku now? Like, and he's making you look stupid.
What if he boy let Goku?
She was very blunt. She said, you know, just let the idiot to die.
What was the emotional impact of repeatedly discovering all these betrayal behaviors? What impact did it have on you?
I had a low self-esteem for a long period of time. And I couldn't report this one because people in your joy kasinka.
Èèyàn ń fẹjọ́ ìkàsùnkà.
I got tired. There was even a time he got one of them pregnant, and he now reminded
Another
me.
one pregnant.
No, that was years ago, and they terminated it.
So it's like he has a reputation of.
I told him.
And you stayed all these years.
I told him Two-Face was his mentor. So sorry, I had to mention it. But
Were you not like? I know some women who do they will. Onírasẹ̀ mo mọ̀ pé oníṣekúṣe ni ẹ́ wo mo ti fi condom sínú báàgì. You get what I'm saying? There are some women who will be like that.
An STI killed before I had my last born. He's going to be 12 in November. I had a stillbirth as a result of an STI.
Wow.
I remember having one again after my last one that I had to. It took me 6 months to treat, and I kept staying. And he would tell me, "You have nowhere to go." And I looked, and I said, "I didn't open the options. I had." He's like, "It's because I have." I said, "He said it's because I have where to go." And I said, "Guy, let me tell you the truth. I chose to stay. I had options. I chose to stay. I now realized that you were not even worth the energy.
Hmm. At the point you realized he got someone pregnant in one of those escapades, what was going through your mind? What were those thoughts going through your mind?
You see, let me use the last one. The one I discovered 2024 that the child came out of it. I was broken. Imagine going for a birthday party and the girl is turning up heavy and is telling you, after all, I did not invite her.
Hmm.
Yes, I will not forget that statement. And I called him out and I said, why were you not man enough to tell me to my face? Why were you not man enough to say it? I got angry. I said I was going to kill him, kill the girl. I
You
apologized.
said you're going to
Kill him,
buy
kill the
him
girl. I'll go
and buy
by
the girl.
because I was angry. And during the day in front of his family, he said, because I said so, he wasn't going to pay the house rent again. And I couldn't afford to be separated from my children. I went to my knees, I started begging. Then, the day of the naming, he took my children. He said, there's nothing I can do about it. Every single period broke me. Sometimes taking my children to the woman's house and I would look like I felt like a failure of a mother. So many
Hmm.
times. So many times I'll lock myself up in my room and I won't talk. My other daughter will walk up to me and tell me, Mommy, I'm still here. That's my biggest ally. And she said, Mommy, I'm still here. Is that his reality, not your own?
Hmm. It's that is reality, not your own.
And of recent, because he went to move to a new place. He maneuvered something and said the kid said he didn't want me. He involved my other daughter. She said, when did I ever see such? Every single time you try breaking me. But when I started choosing myself, I started rising.
Hmm. When you started choosing yourself, you started rising.
I refuse to be broken.
Hmm. I refuse to be broken. Hmm. How did you cope with feeling replaced? Like him
It
going to
was, but
cheat.
it was terrible. It was hard at first, but I channeled that energy. There's one thing when you work with kids, I'd have channeled all my energy. When I'm done, then let me make bold to say Bacardi and Coke came to play a lot in my life.
Back when you are cool.
Yes, it did. Bacardi and Coke. I sip my Bacardi and Coke and I'm good to go. And the next day,
You remember? Wow.
and
It
then
is
I had
well
good friends who were always ready to take me out.
to relieve you from the
Karaoke
stress,
bars. I'll just go out, drink with them,
clear your
oh,
mind.
clear my mind. We gossip, we laugh, we tease ourselves, and I come back.
Was it when he beat you hard that broke your bullet? Was that when you realized I'm no longer in a
It
healthy
was
relationship? Or
2023 into 2024, December 2023, when we had a family gathering. And
that was very like how long into the marriage?
I've always realized I was not in a healthy marriage. I won't lie to you. But when it dawned on me was when he made one statement in front of his family
What was the
and
statement?
friends. He said, any woman that decides to come between he and his family can decide to go.
Any woman that decides to come between himself and his, is it his extended
Immediate
family,
family
his immediate family?
can decide to go. And he said this in front of guests. And I realized it wasn't what it anymore.
Did you guys, were there any marriage counselor or counseling before you
I
guys
was the only one
got,
that I was the only one that went.
got
He
married?
never did.
Okay, that's another thing, oh guys. That's what I mean, ladies. what to look out for. Any man that is not submitted to, that has refused to submit himself to knowledge or any form of authority, is usually a red
It took
flag.
him time even before he decided to go to the registry. Then I decided to show him pepper by not going for traditional marriage on time. Now I had my own, undeniably.
But eventually, he did go to the, I mean, for
Yeah, he
the
did.
court, not the registry.
Because then we're planning to relocate.
Okay. You guys were one of the jackpots, one of those hoping to
It
jackpot.
did not work, and let me use the word. I would say my head catch him.
See what you are saying? For someone who is inside, like an insider like yourself, what does emotional abuse feel like for someone who is like some imagine someone watching now who has no idea of what it is to be emotionally abused. What does it feel like?
When you're made to look like as if you're not doing enough, when you're made to always feel like as if you're always the problem and they're not saying their own side,
Mm.
when it is always, I put in this effort, I did this, when it
I
is the I factor. When you're constantly gaslighted and you start questioning who you are. Now, seriously, I don't blame women that decide to cheat. I don't.
So you say, are you now justifying?
I'm not justifying it, but I don't blame them anymore. Because I was among the Georginas, I used to judge them then.
So in other words, if you hear that your son's wife cheats, what are you going to say? Your
Uh,
son gets married tomorrow.
no,
Ah,
I intend raising a king, a gentleman. He won't. She won't.
what? But you just said that you justify me. You don't say anything.
If my son should cheat,
If you're no, your son's wife
should
should cheat
cheat,
on him. You just said now that you don't blame those who. So
I
that's
will
what she,
ask I'll ask her why. And if I find out that my son pushed her, they should both go for counseling and resolve it.
what can a man do? Apart from okay, yeah, the violence, the beating, what else can men do that you feel is good enough to justify a woman cheating?
Every single thing my ex did to me is enough to make a woman cheat.
Were
Seriously.
were there sexual issues
Okay.
unanswered?
Yes. I cannot sleep with somebody I contacted STI from 3 occasions. Who slept with a 14-year-old and had multiple sex partners. It wasn't working for me. Sex for me is a spiritual thing. I'm very big on it.
Okay.
And
Who is between the both of you? Who was like the hyper person? Was he the
he
one?
was.
Okay.
I wasn't turned out for sex all the time. Because he groomed me to the extent that he travels
But
for
most
months.
men, but generally, I think most men will like they say that nah, no, sex is not
Men.
Most women. That is like the men are the one that are the problem. They are the ones
No,
who always want
he
sex.
always wanted it. And I was not I just lost interest. He could stand naked in my front and I was just there. I beg. I'd rather watch a movie than
But wouldn't you be like, I'm obligated to meet this need, even though I don't feel like.
when I knew there were other people involved.
And I
No.
mean, their partners. I mean, I not even had. I know of people who they. I mean, because of they don't want. They prefer instead of all this regular family planning where they insert whatever. They use CDs. So I mean, you could always say,
Okay.
Benny, since this
When
STI
I
matter, I'm scared though. If you want to get down, low CD,
okay. Let me point out one nasty scenario. I don't know what sexual, what do they call it, enhancement drugs he was using.
Okay.
And he now tried it on me, and I felt repulsed in my spirit. And for me, sex is a spiritual thing.
So he went to use all those, what do you call it? DJ Common. I mean,
I don't even know what he used. And I
gladiator.
clearly remember I had a series of time where I wasn't progressing when I was always sleeping with him with and he was doing it with other women. So I wasn't moving ahead.
You
There
were
were
sensitive to the fact that
yes, I was very
whenever
sick.
he was cheating he
So
was
whenever I
getting by with other women and
whenever
coming to you, you were not progressing.
instead I was shrinking. So
I mean, a strange spirit. He was introducing a strange
so
spirit
for me,
into.
sex is spiritual. It was a no for me.
Hmm.
And it was a decision I made. And I made the decision to the point of getting myself toys. I'd rather be faithful to the toys.
This toy matter, it go cause problem for Nigeria.
But it's better than
How
cheating.
can you say toy is better than I don't understand? Will
better
toy kiss
They
you?
won't serve
Will
you-
toy do foreplay with you?
They will not serve you hearts. They won't give you. They won't give
Toys will
you.
not give you heartbreak.
It will give you breakfast. They will serve you breakfast. And you meet them when you kill them.
They are faithful.
They are faithful.
Where even if you want to know
You
what?
are in control. Okay, but it was better for me and safer that way. Because I didn't want it. The marriage bed has been defiled so many times.
Has been defiled, not undefiled. Defiled.
So I couldn't deal. And
But did you take it to, like I asked before, I'm still going to ask, did you take this matters to like senior spiritual authorities, like, okay, his pastor or his someone he looks up to, like, daddy, mommy, but boy, this is the problem we're having. I've told him, these are the things I've gone through, blah blah. But he keeps doing it. I mean, there has to be someone he submitted to, or was there nobody he respects?
The person he was submitted to was also cheating. So how do I refer? I knew who the person is.
Which kind of story be this one now today?
So how do you report somebody who is? I knew who the person, because the person he submitted to was also cheating on the wife. So how do you report? Or is it his sister who, let me say, morality was a no, was a zero for them. And my father was the wrongest example to to look at. Forget it. He would tell, your father had 2 wives. He would even call my father by his name. It was later he now started, even after reporting him to my pastor in church. Did he stop? No. Not that when he's praying, God bless my wives, I'll just walk out of the sitting room during morning devotion and night. So every single thing pastor says doesn't enter your head. I had stuff. And I was done.
You were done, but you were still there. And you were denying him.
Because I'd rather be safe, I'd rather progress than sink.
But the need has to be met.
He was getting it met outside though. Me, I was getting my met with toys.
Holy Father, this way.
Oh.
But in all of this, were there points you blamed yourself for any of this abuse or all of this abuse?
Like I said, yes. Because if I had walked away, if I was wise enough to have walked away and I stood my ground and I damned all consequences, it wouldn't have gotten to this. It won't have. There won't have been any issue. Like, I'm not absolving myself of certain things that caused him to get angry too. But yet, it was not enough to give me this.
No, it wasn't enough.
He should have just walked away.
Now, for those who are trapped in such experience right now, what lies do victims often tell themselves to survive another day in such abusive relationships?
Stop looking at yourself that you're not good enough. There's something beautiful about you.
Stop
looking at yourself that you're not good enough.
You're not good
There's
enough.
something beautiful
There's
about
something beautiful.
Because there's somebody out there who you are an inspiration to. There's a strength you carry inside that people desire to have.
So that means such situations, those cases make you feel not beautiful, like you're not beautiful, you're not good enough.
My therapist will tell me this. She will tell me I should mirror myself and look at the people I have inspired and what would the world look like without me there. And I realized that I was important to a lot of people. Something happened in my workplace last week where where one of the schools I consult for, the teachers there, if you tell them to contribute first, they won't answer you. But do you know what? All of a sudden, all teachers came together, plus the heads, that they went to contribute just to get me provisions after my recovery. And not one person said no.
No. Wow.
And I kept getting messages. So you are inspiring. You've listened. Is it times when I come through, I never took anybody's health for a joke. Down to the owner, there are people who need our strength. Stop believing in the lies. Shut your ears. Channel your energy. I channeled my energy to the children I work with. Children are the best distractions. Then yes, but Bacardi and Coke.
Bacardi and Coke.
Thank God too. Channel your energy. Find strength in you first, but please choose you.
Choose
Sit
you.
down. You
In
see,
all of these
choosing
things,
you,
choose you.
Be selfish. If you have to be selfish. Sometimes I take myself out on dates. I'll sit down and I'm like, babe, you're fine, no? Take yourself out on a spa date. It works. It helps. Choose you. Nobody can be you. There was a you before the marriage. There will always be a you before the marriage.
There will always be you even after the marriage. If for those who the marriage would be off.
Marriage doesn't define anybody, it just enhances. You define yourself first.
How does all this emotional, violent abuse, how does it affect your mental health? Like someone out there, how does it?
It messes one up. At a point in time, you become wary and overconscious about everything around you. There's trust issues. There's sometimes I've been suicidal.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
I have been suicidal on three occasions. I have felt I wasn't good enough. All of a sudden, I'm not bragging, but I realized when guys started asking me out, I'm like, I still fine. No. You feel you don't look good enough. Excuse me, when you take care of yourself, you look good. I realized there was so many things I could do. Especially if you have the right people to talk to.
Community.
The right community. The right energy around you. If it takes God and it takes intentionality of choosing you.
It takes God ultimately and intentionality of choosing you. So there's a role to play personally. There's a role you play as an individual in all of these things as well.